Well, I wanted to show you guys that this is not my first rodeo, so to speak, as far as, let's say, a person riding a horse and doing the horse and all. And this carving, oh, it's probably a good 10 years old now or more. Um, an Indian on a horse. And I wanted to show you this for several reasons, you guys. He's got this coup stick. This is all one piece of wood. There's nothing added on to this, right? And of course, I'd done this back when I was competing at the shows and stuff. And a lot of my pieces have won best of shows and first and second runner up best of shows and stuff like that. But notice here, this coup stick is very breakable, and his arm sticking out there is very breakable. But notice how I left the feather here bridged to his arm. And then the reason I done all of these feathers down this coup stick is they're bridged to each other. And their triangulation in there bridged to each other. This would be a very breakable carving. Notice I tied the feathers, which is what I'm planning on doing on our piece we're filming. I bridged the feathers on the tail to the leg. So I've done this before. So experience tells me that these things will work. I done the same thing, you guys, on his reins of his horse. As I carved that across there, I bridged it. Look where I got the shield on his back. I bridged the feather to the horse, and the strap on it is attached with a feather to the shield. So as you get better at planning projects, and I do want to tell you guys, if you ever get a chance to just jump in and stretch your, I'm going to say, talents and abilities way beyond what you ever thought you could do. I just want to talk about a few times when I did do a horse and rider and stuff. I ended up, this is a carving magazine. Gosh, this is 1993. This magazine was out of England, London, England, I believe, or somewhere. And I had won second runner up best of show at the International Carvers Congress. And this piece ended up, my piece, this was the first time I'd done an Indian riding a horse. And we'll do some closer ups of this. But I had the horse running, very breakable piece, and I learned a lot about bridging stuff. This was all one piece of wood. Of course, these nicer carvings are in butternut, you guys. Here's another guy, as an old guy with a hat on, riding a horse, playing a guitar. And here's another view of him. This is one I done several years ago. Now, this was catalpa, and this was not a very good carving type wood, but I done the saddle and everything on the horse. Here's another one, a mountain man with a rifle. Now, I did add the reins on this one because it was also out of catalpa wood. And I had to leave the rifle way big and all. Wasn't a great carve, let me tell you that. Then I done a bull rider series one time, and this was butternut, all one piece of butternut, and I done this for competition too. But notice I put the fence up there, and the reason I done that is to where that bull is on one leg. And actually, what's holding the bull up, see, he's on one leg. We'll do some close-ups of these. This one's called Looking for Eight. And you guys remember there was a movie came out about Lane Frost when he got killed bull riding. Of course, I'm from Oklahoma area at the time, so that was big thing going on. But I done that piece for competition, and then I done a sequel, Looking for Eight. That one was called Looking for Eight. But the next view is he's upside down. This is all one piece of wood, you guys. He's upside down in the rig, hung up in the rig, and the two clowns are moving in to get him out of the rig. And we'll do some close-ups of these. These particular bull riders ended up at Silver Dollar City, Missouri. They still may be in the carving shop there. I'm not sure. The owners of Silver Dollar City bought these pieces from me. Gosh, it's been 30 years ago now or something. Even more, maybe. Well, I just wanted to take you guys on that little tour. I wanted to show you about bridging things when you're planning your carving. But what I have learned, and I told you this earlier in this video, I think, that people don't have the room to set something like this full thing in their house. I mean, you can imagine that this would take a lot of room in your house. But this wall hangings that we're doing, I've found they sell better than an end around piece. Of course, back in the day, I was doing this thing for competition. You might notice here, look there, I put a buffalo skull. I carved the cactuses. Notice how I bridged the weeds against the horse's legs, see? And of course, you know, my wife Vicky carves a lot of horses in stone and marble. And she's got a way that she does. We've learned this over the years. She will leave stone underneath there as bushes or something like that. And because, you know, marble weighs a lot. And you can't just do a leg sticking out there like that and expect it to hold up 1,500-pound marble piece or something. You can get away with so much more in wood, but you still have to do a certain amount of planning and bridging. What's going to hold this carving up? What's going to keep his shield from breaking off? What's going to keep his arm from getting broken? Blah, blah. Anyway, wanted to show you guys this piece and tell you that it ain't my first rodeo when it comes to carving people on horses, and everyone turns out so different. Just like this one, the horse's head is more of a pony, shorter. You know, this guy already is taking on a long, stretched out look about him. So some of them got to go with the flow, and we talked about that before with the driftwood pieces. You just got to go with what's happening. Hope you guys enjoy seeing some carvings, and I will keep you updated on this piece I'm working on.